we just came out of non-public, we opened the sealed bids, can we say the name?
Yeah, sure.
Mr. LaPointe, David LaPointe of 25 7 Acres Road, had the highest bid out of the 2 bids that came in, so it was voted to let him purchase it cash.
We should say the bid price.
Of $1,550.
Map 12.
Map 12, lot 26.
And the other bid was?
The other bid was from William Harris and Rachel Rosenoff, and their bid was for $1,400 for the 1/4 acre property, map 12, lot 26.
So both the butters.
Both the butters. Perfect. All right. So board member comments.
I do not have any at this time.
Nothing. All right, TJ.
Just that the water and sewer meetings are gonna be on Thursdays as well, the opposite of the selectmen's meetings. So,
Hey.
Yeah, same day,
Yeah.
easier.
makes it easier for everyone to remember.
So the second and fourth week of each month
Right.
compared to
Some weeks it works out that we're having a meeting almost the same week.
Same week, yeah.
Oh, like we are.
Yeah, right.
But then there's always 2 months where you get a bye week.
Right.
We need more.
So anything else, TJ?
That's about it.
All right, from myself, the rec department, the roller skating, is the last roller skating for this year, or for this school year, because we only do the roller skating during the school year, will be May 2nd, this Friday, which is tomorrow. From 5 to 9, or no, from 6 to 9. We'll be showing up there at 5 to get everything set up. It's our last one of the year, so if you want to attend, please make sure you be there. Helmets are mandatory for anyone under the age of 18. And the community dinner is going to be the 17th of May. I do not remember what they're having. It's after Mother's Day. Other than that, planning board is meeting next Wednesday. And I think that's all we got. So, all right, board member comment. All right, public comments. We have none. You're
Yeah, I don't know if I'm,
You're actually on the
right.
coming up
You're here
next
for water and
actually,
sewer.
for new business.
What's that?
You're here for water and sewer.
Yeah, for just, right, yes.
Okay. All right. So no other public comments. Number 4, Water and Sewer Commission, map 19, lots 71B and 72B, solar.
That's, okay. Yeah, I'm basically, I don't know, did they include a picture in there yet?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, these apps can be misleading at times, but I just wanted to, I guess, I don't know if we've ever seen a situation like this and how is this handled, or, it's gonna be surveyed. My question is when and how far do we get into this? I'm not sure at what stage in the process, and waiting for an answer back from Revision Solar on when they start doing some surveying, but after kind of walking it on our own and what I'm seeing on that map, there's a possibility that it doesn't really fall within its own lot line.
Well, it does, because it's a double lot, 72A, 72B.
We own 72B, they're 71B.
Who's 71? Oh, this is the
house.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I tried to get it so you could at least see
Ruh-roh.
this, yeah. And again, I've walked these lines before and it's been off, like I found pins on my own property.
Sure.
And I'm off, but that's considerably off, so I don't know. And it's not
It's supposed to be on 71B,
correct.
but when they sited the house, they built it on the wrong.
I don't want, it could be that way, that's a possibility, I don't wanna say that it is until there's a surveyor out there, but.
Those are easy lots to mark. They're nice and square.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you need to contact council and see what the approach is gonna be if that house is in fact built on the wrong lot.
It's ours, so I don't know if it's just an easy line adjustment and exchange of property one and the other.
How would you do that? The whole house is built.
I don't know if you could like trade
but
some over here for
where's the
some
money
over-
coming from?
Well, that's what I meant by trade.
And
Yeah, out of my.
That's a mess.
Yeah, so they're gonna,
I almost hope it's, yeah.
right, me too. So, it was really just an FYI, and that, if I hear back that revision, I mean, the only bonus to this is that revision's gonna pay a surveyor to go in there and survey us and the abutters, I think, like they have to.
Yeah.
So, we'll find out, I think, without much added expense to us, so if it turns out it's in fact not on 71B, we'll have to deal with that at that time.
Interesting. This is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just saw it as like a little clearing in the trees.
yeah, no, that's the house, and I made sure, cause I'm like, is that house really like a hip roof like that? And it is, so.
I remember when they built that house, because it was questionable whether they could build there, because they bought the land for cheap because it was commercial land, and then they wanted to do residential, and the planning board agreed that you could, at that time, the thinking was if you were
Lesser use.
less than dense, you could have a permit.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad spot other than the abutter.
Other than it's not on that property.
Yeah, it looks that way, again, I don't wanna make assumptions that is 100% accurate, but I went over it and over it and over it, and it certainly appears that way, so.
Alright, so we'll have Jeremy see council and figure out what we can do with that moving
Yeah.
forward. Anything else for water and sewer? Besides,
No, I think that's it, I'll get you guys that paperwork, as soon as I get back, I'll email that, we'll do the loan paperwork for the truck. We'll get the truck on Monday, so.
alright,
Can we stay on this for one more second? Jeremy, have you spoken to any attorneys this week?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from Jack.
Okay. Did you confirm with him, or did you get a call back?
Not yet.
Okay. How long would you call
Earlier today.
him? Oh, earlier today?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
I mean, we're covered until the 12th. Not that
Well,
much time, but.
we gotta deal with this.
Right,
Whether the
Yeah.
solar goes through or not,
right.
this is an issue.
this is now a problem.
What is the other properties? Map out?
71A and 71B.
No, it's 72B and 71B, if I remember correctly.
Yes, 71B and 72B.
72 is what we know.
Yeah.
Map 19.
72A, 72B, 71B.
We're up here, so 70, oh yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, 72B and 71B.
Yep. Yep. Wow.
And then the dot on here is where the houses or?
Yeah, so if you look at, no, I clicked on it so you can see it was owned, this square is owned by the town of Troy, and that's the house. Again, I walked these,
Which one of these?
It's supposed to be-
What they own?
this one right here, yeah.
It's supposed to be on 71B.
Yeah, which is right along Dort, right here, it's that red line there. And this is 72B, and it's weird, it's got a dotted line through it, because it's actually 3 parcels, but this is 72B.
Can't get the numbers mixed up and switched.
No, yeah, we looked at it a million times, and me and Phil could be back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah, Justin came in one day and asked him.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh, that makes sense.
we walked it with revision, and, we tried to see it, and we were like, well, maybe we can shift it up a little bit, and then we were like, do you own this property? And then we were staring at the house, and I'm like, I think so, but I don't know where the line is, and then we went over that. I have that on X app, and when I was standing there, I was like, so, that's it.
Do you have anything further, Dick? Alright,
I opened my app 2 hours ago, I like,
I zoomed in and out, and again, I've walked properties.
Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
they're right in the
yeah, her.
line.
Yeah, I mean, I've walked properties, and it's been off, but not usually by that much.
Well, there was no building code enforcement whatsoever, or,
That time frame.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe the excavator started in the wrong spot, that's all.
alright, if nothing else, going to 4B, Village Pond Dam. This is, we got a letter from the highway department.
Yeah, that last paragraph was the first paragraph. I guess he can't make it.
lastly, I'll just read lastly the dams. There are 4 dams in town of Troy, one of which was inspected last year, 2024. No report has come back as of yet. A few weeks ago, I took a walk around Village Pond Dam and found water flowing through the southeastern side of the dam wing wall. This is a deficiency that the state looks for. I also observed the vegetation and big trees around the dam dam within 25-foot radius. Taking care of the dams and keeping them maintained is part of my job. I have looked through the dam records, and I have here at the barn, we were sent a letter to fix the dams, including Village Pond. Nothing was done. Then again, in 2019, the same letter was sent again. Now I'm unsure if there was other letters that got received between those years. But with my observations of this dam, I contacted the state and recorded my findings with them over the phone, and they sent me a couple documents. Shortly after, I was emailed informing me they were coming this year between spring and fall to inspect 3 out of the 4 dams. I will be attending the inspections, and so will Jeremy. With this being said, I have gotten 2 quotes. The third, I have not gotten a response. One is from McClure's to take down the big trees and clean up the shrubbery. Price quoted was $7,000 to $9,000. The second quote was from Wilcox Tree Service. Their quote was for an 8-hour day flat rate. That quote was $4,500. This goes to show that tree work isn't cheap, and it's going to be cheaper and easier to keep up with tree work rather than let it go so out of hand that it costs so much money. We can justify putting huge money into that account every year to get caught up. Thank you, John Combs.
So what's we need to, John I thought he sent an email earlier this week.
Yeah, asking that McClure's to do it, but we didn't get the bid, so I guess he wrote this up. And this is also like what he's been doing and. Like,
sure, I read all that stuff.
Yeah.
So my question is,
Why McClure's instead
why
of
are we doing
Wilcox?
McClure's if they're the high bid?
Right, that's a good question. I don't know, he's not here to ask this question. Did he give you?
Can we
any-
call him? Do we have his cell phone?
I originally thought he was gonna come, but his letter says he can't make
Can you call him, Jeremy?
it. Yes.
I don't know, he's on speaker.
Hello.
Hey, you're on speaker at the meeting. Can you talk?
At a T-ball game, what's going on?
Why do you want to hire McClure's if they're twice as much as Wilcox?
I think McClure should be able to get it done more cleaner and efficiently, especially since they had the crane.
So what you're really saying is you don't think the Wilcox bid is really a good bid?
It's, for an 8-hour day, it'd be good if we had 8 hours worth of stuff to get done that was planned out, but since this is the dam,
Yeah.
I think just having McClure's come in and do it right and do it the right way would be the best option.
Do you think if you went back to Joey, he could shave anything off of that bid?
I can talk to him, he might be here at the ball field.
Yeah, well, he may be.
It's just that there's like a $3,000 7 to 9 or $2,000 difference there. If we can shave some of that off and get more of an idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I question that anybody would bid a job like that out for just 8 hours a day.
Right.
I mean, that's more than a one-day job, so you could take Wilcox and have actually a $13,000 bill.
Yeah.
So would you clarify if you can clarify with Joey, and we'll figure out how we're gonna deal with this so you can get it squared away in the next day or so.
Yep, I can do that.
Thank you, John.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Yep, not a problem.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right, so we want to table that for right now, or?
Let's come back to that later.
Okay.
Agree with that?
All right, 4C, Primex and Municipal Managers New Hampshire Conferences. May 13th to the 15th, and May 15th to the 16th, Municipal Managers Association of New Hampshire Scholarship.
So both Abby and Sarah wanted to go to the Primex conference, and they went last year, so that's fine. I didn't plan to go myself, and then I noticed that the Municipal Managers Association had 2 scholarships available, and people usually don't apply to them. So I did apply, and I got awarded up to $800, which they cover for the hotel stay. But the flip side of that is, we'd be leaving Tuesday afternoon, and there'd be nobody to cover the office for the rest of Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday.
So the office will be closed.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's,
But I didn't want to book anything before the board. So, for me, Primex is 2.5 days or whatever. Then midday Thursday it switches to the municipal managers, so Abby and Sarah will be going home, and then we have a day and a half, and it ends Friday. But they'll reimburse 2 nights the hotel. Unfortunately, the hotel that it's at is already,
Or you will.
Yeah.
but I did find an option like 10 minutes away for even less money, so. You just book it, and then you submit the receipts, and they'll pay the town there, so.
so what's the question that you want us to answer?
Is the board okay with me going and closing the office for
The 3 days.
2.5 days?
I move that we approve, the town administrator to close the selectman's office for 2.5 days for him and his staff to attend the annual conference between May 15th and May 16th of the Municipal Management Association of New Hampshire.
It's actually 13th through the 16th is
Oh, my original.
13th through
There's
the,
2, yeah, they're back to back.
and then 15th to the 16th is the municipal manager. So the 13th to the 15th it'll be closed, and then Jeremy will be staying on for another 15th to the
So
16th
the office will be closed the 13th and the 14th.
and the 15th.
13th, 14th.
Well, 13th will be half a day, because it doesn't start till later in the night.
Yeah, but you gotta drive up there.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like a cocktail night reception, so.
Alright, I'll second it.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Alright.
Aye. All right. So you're all set. Go ahead and book the hotels. Let Sarah and Abby know.
There
And
you
make
go.
sure it's posted on
There you go, there, so.
the website and everything that you're gonna be closed for that time frame. So the 4D is the 2023 Financial Audit Board Selection Questionnaire.
So this is the standard questionnaire they send to you guys, the treasurer, I do one, everybody.
Yeah.
They haven't sent us the draft of the 2023 audit yet, but I expect that soon, but our CPA was in yesterday to check everything, and the auditors are scheduled to be here next week to start on 2023.
Alright, I can fill that out. It says the chairperson on behalf of the board, so.
Unless you want to order it, I'm sure there's gonna be nothing that's really earth shattering.
I just got one other thing when you're ready that I forgot to mention.
Yeah, I'll finish it, I'll get it filled out for you. Anything else on the financial audit?
No.
Alright,
We forgot this
I was just gonna add, me and Curtis had talked when we were signing the paperwork about what was going on in the common with that other water spigot that I think you guys use for like watering plants and that. I think it froze up the end of last year.
No, it didn't freeze.
it doesn't shut off all the
We
way.
had to come and shut it off because something had
There was-
slipped off or broke at the end of
That's what happened. It didn't actually freeze up. It was one of the fittings, or a couple of the fittings got loose. So we talked to Justin. It's all fixed and it's working.
Okay, so what we're gonna do when we dig up that, we're gonna do that hydrant.
Yeah, Justin said you're gonna put in like a mini meter.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that, we'll do they call it a yard hydrant, but that means nothing to me, so like a frost-free.
Yeah, that's what Justin said.
Okay, yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then, if you could just reimburse for parts, we'll take care of all the labor and all that,
Do you have a time frame where you're gonna do that?
yeah. He's slated for this coming week, but it looks like it's gonna rain all week long,
It
so
is.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I figured we'd just take care of it once and for all, and then it would be good, and then if you wanna do anything with those problems, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Alright. I know the question was putting in the dog water fountain type two.
Yeah, we need to buy a new. We would buy a new fountain that had both for dogs and humans.
Yeah.
Right,
So
Yeah.
John's comment?
Probably.
And we'll get that figured out, but I just wanted to mention that, but you sounds like you already knew. We're
Well,
gonna
like we've, cause Richard actually, the
do- Somebody's
baskets.
gonna try and fix it, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Justin did one thing and then he said, well, it doesn't work, and then Richard went and fixed the lines.
Okay.
And, so it's all. 'cause
When
the-
we're in there, we'll just make sure we never have to worry about this.
That would be good. Yeah, the baskets are coming in like 10 days, so.
Okay, we're scheduled to do that hydrant next week, but again, if it rains all week, I don't know what that looks like for Justin, so.
Alright,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
So we get John back on. Are you on
So he
speaker?
texted us.
He's all back on phone.
Alright, can you hear me?
Yep.
Alright, I just got off the phone with Joey, he said he can do it for 5.
Okay,
So,
so,
Do we need a motion for it?
yeah, I move that we hire McClure's to do the work around the Village Pond Dam.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yes, I want to speak that we've had a lot of success with McClure's on other town projects. They did the common a couple of times for us and some other tree work. And it's been my experience with them that sometimes their bids look higher, but they're very consistent with what they do. And so therefore, I'm advocating for that particular job. So, that was speaking to it.
Alright, any other discussion? I see none. Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. John, you are good to go go ahead and hire him. Get it done.
Before we move on,
Alright,
Right.
I'll call him back and get it scheduled.
Yep.
Alright, thank you.
before we move on, just something else. It's been brought to my attention that apparently we need to increase the flag, well, someone's asking that we increase the flag size on the triangle flagpole to a larger size. They
Do we
think
have any bigger, how big is that one? Is it 3x5?
it's a 3x5, but we have
That's
two
a 5 by a
flags.
7.
Mm,
Oh, you've got the,
We've got the POW one below it.
yeah,
Next flag size is a 4x6 and then a 5x7, and they go up every foot.
yeah, there's a ratio.
Right. So it's been keeps bringing it up and saying there's an ethics for it, and I have not found anything.
What?
There's ethical, something about ethics and all that. I've looked everywhere. I've looked at the
Ethics?
So they said it's ethics. I didn't think that was the right word, but I like it.
Etiquette.
I think it's etiquette.
I looked at etiquette too.
Because
But
there is some
Right.
flag etiquette, that the American flag's supposed to be the biggest one, and, you know,
It's supposed to be the highest.
limited.
That's it.
It's-
There's
yeah.
nothing about size per pole or nothing.
Yeah, there's,
Because I've looked it up on American Legion, I've looked it up on the government sites, I've
Sure.
looked it up everywhere. There's nothing about height or flagpole to size. The only thing is the American flag must be the top flag, it must be the one,
Right, dominant flag.
and we also have to actually light them up.
yeah,
There's
it's
not
supposed to be
lights.
lit at night.
We could get solar, we have solar powered,
There's a couple of flagpole companies that will put a solar light on top.
yeah, I've seen those.
I've reached out to a couple of them, I haven't heard back from them, but I'll reach out again.
Do you call people in Fitzwilliam?
Yes, I have a number.
Okay.
I ran into them at the home show.
And I ran into them at, well, it was actually a car show in Syracuse. And did I bring that paperwork back last year? For new poles, because they have poles, this company sells poles, most of the municipalities, why they were at this car show, I don't know. But the poles, they are collapsible, and then they also are mounted on an axle at the bottom, so you can fix stuff, so when you get the pulley up at the top. And what I was surprised at is how inexpensive they were. I'm thinking this should be like $10,000, and it was like $2,000. I would have sworn to God I gave that to Jeremy, but maybe not.
when was it? Last year? Do you remember?
Last year, it would be July. The Syracuse Nationals.
Yeah, so the one out here on the triangle would need new clips to,
Just clips in the line,
yeah,
the little
it's just a little
plastic or
metal,
steel metal.
steel one. And it's just, they would need new clips in them too, and they need to be adjusted for the new flag size. If we
That's
did-
just moving the knot down on one of them, right?
Right, well, it'd be, 30, but yeah,
Yeah,
or we can actually probably go up with it.
Did you send a brochure?
yeah. It was, yeah.
Last July 31st.
Sounds right, yeah.
memorial pole.
That sounds right.
Oh wow, these prices are good.
So we can either replace it or just adjust the knotting on it.
The line.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
one thing we do.
whichever is less trouble, I mean, it's
Well-
really,
What condition is that flag in? Is it ready to be replaced or?
No, the flags, that one just got replaced. The next one to be replaced will most likely be the one on the common itself. It's got a little bit of fraying, and we replaced them with nylon flags because that's what
they last longer.
they last longer. Some people disagree and say they fade out faster.
This is a nylon flag. I mean, we've got 2 American flags here, it's not like we're short on flags.
No, that one's older, quite,
Yeah, Steve.
yeah, that one definitely be replaced, but
So which one are they complaining about, or
the one on the triangle
the
here.
triangle?
They're saying it's too small for the height of this flagpole, because they're thinking it's a 35-foot pole, it needs to be they said a 5x8 flag.
It seems like it would be a little bit big.
It's basically the same size that we hung on the town hall.
Yeah, I'm thinking that seems big for that pole.
I thought so too. I mean, it could be done, but then you also we'd have to get a bigger POW flag or a just slightly one size down from that. Because if you flag 2 different size flags, it looks very
Sure, yeah, that, I agree.
I'm just gonna say, it's gonna look like shit.
Yeah,
Because if you go to the school, you'll see that their American flag and their state flag are the same exact size. They're actually this size.
yeah.
And the pole is, I think, the same size as the one on the triangle.
It's at least that height or higher.
Yeah. So we can do it, it's just in replacing the clips. Do our moving
Well,
clips.
you know, before we go fussing around with all this and moving a flag that isn't, just got put up, call Alan.
Alan Bailey?
Yeah, he knows it, he researches it.
I was like, wait, which challenge? I can give him a buzz.
Yeah, he's the one that usually tells us when the.
If we do it wrong, Alan will be letting us know, so.
Alright,
Why don't we miss
Try
that
first.
step and just ask him?
Alright, so
And-
TJ, you wanna take care of that?
Yep, no worries, John.
Oh, also, did we unplug the lights from Paul Greer's
Yes.
Drive? Okay.
I did the day it was supposed to be done.
Oh, good.
I let the town borrow one because I was
Sure.
gonna use it at home.
Oh, okay, well, no, I was thinking,
I had use it at home for that style of light, so I was like, sweet, that works for me.
okay.
Yep, they got it unplugged.
Alright, so for Echo, NHDES CS 330190-06 disbursement number 8.
This is the Water and Sewer Commission.
Yep, this is one Jeremy has to sign.
I move that we approve the loan disbursement as noted.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? See none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, for Foxtrot, alcohol permit for 11/16/25 event at the rec center.
I move that we approve the alcohol permit at the rec center as noted. That is advanced planning, man.
It
Second.
is, I like it.
Any discussion? None, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a question about alcohol permits. If I'm having a party on my own property,
You do not need an alcohol
You do not
permit.
I don't need one,
But if you're having it on the common, at the rec,
Okay.
at the
In the public
cemetery,
area.
okay. Alright,
at the ballpark, you know.
got it, okay, I just was,
Not on Main Street, walking.
yeah, okay.
No, if you could have it on the laundromat's little circle, you could have it there. It's private property. Technically.
The insurance company wouldn't like it,
We weren't gonna say anything about that one.
but, yeah.
4G computer technology ETF request, electronic fund request for town hall, PD, firewalls, transfer station, and PC, for PC and printer.
So the firewall invoices, one of them, I think they forgot to invoice this last year. And
Yeah.
Dave and I had met with Worldwide to kind of go through their budget and expenses, and I think the conclusion we came to is that he'd been overspending quite a few years in a row because through the budget process, we've been forgetting to budget for his
Increase on that.
IMC, wherever the software is. So obviously, if we're not budgeting for $5,000 worth of expense, we're gonna be way off over here. So talking to him, I said, if something comes up and we can use the fund, we will. So that's what that is. And then I talked to TJ, and we'd like to get a functional desktop computer at transfer stations so they can start doing their own spreadsheets of payments. Because right now what's happening with John is They do paper copies, give you the money, I go through it, scrub it, make sure the math works out, then give it to Sarah, we count it. Figured less steps if they give it to us when it's done, and properly counted on a spreadsheet.
You remember with Eric, I mean, not John.
Yeah, well, I mean, John before me was all for everything too, so it's a lot of labor, so. And then the other thing is a printer, and then obviously at some point we wanna do, electronic payments and do it.
So the only thing I would worry about with the printer is how much is the ink replacement. That's
Right.
the only question. You wanna get something where the ink replacement's not like $90 freaking dollars.
A lot of them say they free for a year, bro.
Yeah,
That's how
at
they'll get you.
The starter cartridge is free, and then it's
$220 for cartridge after
So they
that.
make all the money.
and you use half a cartridge on each page because it's a micro
So
cartridge.
give me 2 seconds. Let me look up this printer and see what type of cartridge
do
it
that.
is. Because the computer works, because that's a
But I can't
A
believe how
basic
cheap they
one.
are.
I told you they'd
It's a
be
lot
that.
less than Staples was too. And I made sure I picked one that wasn't refurb. They refurbed everywhere.
All right, so this takes a 67, which I know how much those cost. Walmart has a twin pack for $36, so that's actually a decent one. That is my same exact printer.
I think the scanner's probably gonna be the most important.
Right, and the scanner works great on it.
Right.
I use it for all of my documents for work, so it's a decent printer. The ink cartridge, if you buy it on Amazon, drops it down to like $25 for both black and color for XL. So
So on the motion sheet is the total amount if you
Hey
have.
Kelly, this is Nick Paxton. You have a minute to talk to Troy Board of Selectmen? Alright, hold on a second. I move that we go into non-public under 91A L for purposes of speaking with council.
a second.
Alright, roll call vote, Dick,
Yes.
TJ,
Yes.
Curtis, yes. So we have a brief recess real